Good morning, UACC family. Well, Christmas is behind us now, and we're looking towards New Year's Day on Friday. Let's face it, 2020 has been a rough year, and we're probably all glad to be rid of it. I'm sure we'll all look back on it with sadness, and we're anxious to move on to better days. New Year's Day gives us a sense of a new start, a new beginning, maybe even a clean slate. Things are all kind of different. And it reminds me of a story in John's Gospel, actually, about newness. In John's Gospel, there's a story about a wedding feast in Cana. Now, this story is often spoken of at weddings, but actually, the message of the story is much deeper than that. I want to read from John chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. On the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. And when the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." Okay, so a few things about this story. First of all, you'll notice it starts with the words "on the third day." Now, John is a smart guy, okay? He's not just saying that for no reason. He knows when he says on the third day, a bunch of red flares are going to go off in people's minds. And he knows that he's telling people to look forward, that this story has something to do with what's going on at the end of the gospel. The third day represents resurrection, new beginnings for all who trust in Jesus Christ. Now, what happens in this story is that Jesus' mother lets him know there's a problem. She doesn't ask him to do anything about it. She just said there's a problem. They ran out of wine. There's no more wine. And again, it's interesting to me that God looked down and he saw there was a problem. Nobody told him to do anything about it. Nobody asked him to do anything about it. We were not in a position to ask him. We were rebelling against him. In fact, we were saying, stay away. We want to sin. We want to stay in our sin. Nobody asked God to do anything, but God is a God who sees a problem and wants to fix it. And Jesus wanted to do something to help this family. So there were 6 stone jars that contained water for ceremonial cleansing. Now, the fact that they were stone means obviously they were very heavy, but it also means that they represent the stone of the tablets of the law. They are ceremonial. The law said they had to be ceremonially cleansed. 6, again, indicates something as well, that there are not enough of them. 7 is the perfect number. 6 is incomplete. They are not enough either, just like the wine, the jars are not enough. 1 short. But Jesus tells them to go fill those jars with water, a crazy request. The jars had probably been emptied along the way. They couldn't move the jars. They're stone. They're very heavy. They don't have a hose to bring in from outside. It was a huge task to fill these 20-gallon jars with water again, just bringing pails from the well. But he tells them to do that. And Jesus turns the water of ceremonial cleansing from the law into the wine of the new covenant that he has brought in his own life. John says in this miracle, Jesus reveals his glory. And it's not in the fact that he performs a miracle, but in everything that the miracle represents. Folks, last week we celebrated Christmas, and this week we stand on the threshold of a new year. We dream of new beginnings, putting old things behind us. We want to put an end to old destructive habits and initiate new, more healthy ways of living. We hope for a change in our circumstances, for things to get better. We hope that next year will be a great year. But when we think we can accomplish these goals or we can see these things happen because of our own powers, then we're fooling ourselves. We're investing ourselves in the 6 stone pots instead of in the Lord who turned the water in those pots into wine. This story teaches that freedom, renewal, and transformation are found only in Christ. Paul says in 2 Corinthians 5:17, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come. Another thing I want you to notice is the ministry of Mary, because I think that's where we can really relate to this story. She used her intimate relationship with Jesus to encourage others to trust him. When he asked them to fill the stone pots, they were like, they thought he was crazy. And Mary said to them, do whatever he says, you won't be sorry. What a great thing. Do what he says. you won't be sorry. Is there someone in your life with whom you can share your intimate experience with Christ? Someone who you could say, try it, trust him. You won't be sorry. Encourage them to experience new life in him for themselves. You know, at a Christmas pageant once I saw the centerpiece was a wooden manger, and it held the baby Jesus through most of the program. But at the end of the program, the manger was flipped upside down, and somehow by flipping it, it transformed from a cradle that would hold a vulnerable baby into a throne that would hold a powerful king. That transformation, that newness, it was something that I remember to this day. It was so kind of shocking to me. And as we enter the new year together, let's remember that the baby became a man, that the man became a sacrifice, that the sacrifice was glorified, rose from the dead, and ascended into heaven. And the baby in the manger is now the King of all creation, sitting on his throne at the right hand of God the Father. With that in mind, let's enter this new year with confidence, and let's look to Jesus to make us new. May God bless you and have a great day.